trust the chieftain after so many died of it.
Must be something big going on. Most of the village is moving towards that smoke.
Death may rise up to meet you with trust in our hunter's weakness. I do not think that our hunter killed in Alpes' hands. He led them to a great challenge. Clever.
Get ready for a rare sight, Nora. Bergrand, purveyor of necessities. Most of the time, the Banuk burn their dead. But not today.
Because the bodies couldn't be recovered.
Aye, a nasty business. All their best warriors lost. So they're getting a different kind of send-off.
Grasp your grief, my hunters, and kill it! For our kin sees the fate all Banuk long for. Falling with their spears striking steel. Their struggle is over now. You have witnessed their spirits rise up into the blue sky, and beyond to the blue light. But our struggle is only beginning. Soon, we will again take up the hunt against the daemon that frenzies the machines against us. And so I ask you, can you summon the courage of our fallen kin? Will you fight and die as well as they did?
My courage! My spear! Our blood is in your teeth, Aratak!
We are Banuk. Our enemies are prey.
The daemon. That frenzies the machines.
Machines that wiped out their best. And what do they want to do? Go back up there. Fools. A little advice, for free.
Aloy.
Aloy. I've been up here for 2 long winters, and I still can't make sense of the Banuk. Take this ruckus. It started with one of their shamans, Aurea, spouting on about spirits and daemons up on Thunder's drum. So they march their Warwick up there, and half of them get slaughtered by machines. When Aurea vanished, I thought the crazy might have gone with her, but no. Here's Big Aratak, gearing them up to do it all over again.
Have you ever heard of a man named Silence? Tall, deadly serious, cables in his skin? Like a shaman?
I've heard that name once or twice, but always whispered. Like some boogeyman the Banuk want to forget. I'm not sure what went down, but I got the impression he messed with the Conclave. Or they messed with him.
Conclave?
All the most important shamans gather in Banur from time to time to keep up with the latest mumbo-jumbo. No idea how they all fit into one tent without those crazy headdresses getting locked up on each other. Araya's been to that shindig, but when I asked her what, it just gave me a dirty look. So if you want to know more, you'll have to find her and make her like you, I guess. Good luck.
What is it about the Banuk you can't make sense of?
Well, everything's a test to them. A hardship to endure. A challenge to survive.
Seems like they don't have much of a choice in a place like this.
Yeah. A land cold enough to crack teeth. Filled with wild animals. You'd think they'd accept a little reasonably priced aid. Well, believe me, I've tried to convince them. But a Banuk with nothing left to prove might just lie down and die.
And Aurea is the one who spoke about this daemon?
That's right. Told Aratak and the others that it lives up on Thunder's drum. And they believed her.
But you don't.
Look, I don't know what Aurea found up there. A shaman's not going to talk to an outlander. The machines in the cut are getting more vicious, that's a fact. It could be because of the daemon, or it could be because they all got indigestion, for all I know. But Aurea's not around to explain. She took off, and no one knows why.
Is Aratak a renowned warrior around here?
He's a Werik chieftain. His voice carries a lot of respect. Not that you hear much of it. Man talks about as much as a dead fish. But when he and Aurea came to town with their Werik, it drew more Banuk to this little burg than I'd ever seen. Know what else I saw, Aloy? My own little trade route, stretching all the way back to the claim. Then, he goes and leads them off to their death at the claws of angry machines. So much for my best customers.
What are these Weriks about, Bergrand? Some sort of tribe within the tribe?
Yeah, not like our clans back home. You don't get born into these things. They hold tryouts. Prove your best at something and you might get a place. Some Weriks come and go. Some last as long as metal. The whole Banuk territory, Banur, is just a bunch of the biggest, oldest Weriks.
I'm not sure if I'm less confused or more confused.
Well, here's the sure thing. Each Werik has a chieftain and a shaman. They make the decisions. All well and good, except the chieftains are hard-headed, and the shamans have their heads in the clouds.
You said you've lived out here for 2 winters?
We were barely scraping by until this place started filling up for Aurea. A great prophet is coming, they said. Honest mistake. Not that the Banuk are stingy, they just prefer to keep trade among themselves. We could get through to enough of them. We could really put this place on the map. Or at least on a map. Me and my daughter. My assistant, Varja. My assistant and my daughter. We seem to get along better as business partners. Her mother wanted me to show her a trade. She started tinkering with weapons. Say, when you need a break from this Banuk carry-on, stop in and see her. You're both, how do I put it?
Women?
No. Independent. Look for her at Long Notch, the easternmost Banuk camp.
I want to know more about this daemon.
It's crazy talk, Aloy.
Or there's something to it. Something connected to how the machines behave.
Then you need to find Aurea. She was last seen headed for the mountains they call the Ice Rafts. I've heard only the shamans know the trail beyond those frozen peaks. But I do know where you could find her apprentice, Naltuk. He went north of the river, chasing rumors.
Rumors?
Not the good kind. Sudden attacks in the snow. Strange new structures. Some say a new machine, like no one's seen before.
Well, now I'm definitely interested. Thanks for the talk, Bergrand.
Don't mention it.
I wonder if Aratak can tell me more about Aurea or Thunderstrom. Might be worth a
She won't
shot.
come down until repairing is finished.
It's difficult to trust that the blue-light guides.
I do not want to hear this talk from you again. Doubt is heavier than a week's snow.
Forgive me, my chieftain. We will be ready for the next attempt.
But this will not be an attempt. It must be, do I understand?
My chieftain.
Good. Outlander, I suppose you wish to speak?
There are other Weraks in Song's Edge too?
Yes. The village has its own life for all Banuk who need trade or shelter. After the war ended, it sprang up from what was once a campsite, quick as the bloom between frosts. Perhaps it will last, until the Karja seek war again.
Aurea knows about this Damon. Where would I talk to her?
She does a shaman's work. That is not for the eyes and ears of others. Certainly not an Outlander's.
This Damon you talked about.
If you are hardy enough, you can venture out and see the signs yourself. It has changed the machines, made them fiercer, stronger.
But what is it?
A matter for the shamans to debate.
Did your Werak come from this place?
No, we rallied most of our hunters from across Banur to face the threat of the Daemon. But I was born here, and stayed to fight the Karja when others retreated into the mountains. A few of my old warriors remained with me, those who survived.
You're set on going back to the mountain?
I put my word to it.
Even with the risks being so great?
The risk of what? Death? It would be a worse fate to bow our heads to the challenge and say too much.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Good. I prefer deeds to words.
Right.
I became complacent. Allowed other runners to surpass me. You never stopped proving yourself. How could I forget that?
You can't let the smoke from Thunder's drum distract you. We all have jobs to do. I've hunted for many years. Seen machines like those that belong to the Daemon.
We meet again. The blue light can guide you or it can abandon you, as it did the frozen tonic.
The Nora mind their own business and tend to their own lands. The way it should be.
So, machines in the south suffer their own sort of corruption. Wonder what sort of challenge they present.
Think of the tall neck as a reminder. There is nothing the winters of the cut cannot freeze.
I've never traveled further south than the Great Road. In the old days, the Mad Sun King made doing so impossible.
If we must face stronger machines, we'll have to become better hunters.
How long must we wait for Sakuli to finish her painting? It's been ages.
These machines that bear the Daemon's mark. I've never seen such power.
People fear these new machines now, but soon fear will turn to determination.
Where once Banuk were dragged to Meridian in chains, now Concarja live there as equals.
How long until the demon births a perfect machine? One will have no chance of fighting.
The song has kept me company in your absence. There's a strange beauty in the face of Tony.
I'll give this to the Osram. Whatever they do with passion.
Bandits in Stonewood. We'll survive them. We've survived worse. One thing you can say about these new machines, they will challenge us.
The new machines are more than just a challenge, okay? Hunters do well to know their limits.
She scrubbed the entire rock face clean and just so she could cover it with
Not the first bandits we've seen in the cut, but they are among the most formidable. Stone Yield has always belonged to the Rock, and these bandits should realize it will again.
You're still breathing. Good.
You will rely on
We
the
both
spear
survive another
during
day.
these dark days. Remember this: your spear is not your own.
A good life requires three things.
Forget
Sharp
not
spear,
the songs of those
or
hunters
ten,
whose spears are
and a Wirac where everyone knows their
The Daemon
place.
calls to the machines, sends them into a frenzy.
None of the southern tribes rival the Banuk as hunters, but some are skilled in their own way.
Glad our paths crossed.
Some Austrian are skilled hunters.
it still demands a
Grant
skill.
machines that respect their art.
The Banuk of Song's Edge are our own breed, and we deserve a painter unlike any other.
Our shaman's apprentice took the first braves last night. There's a scene I don't need to see again.
Sakuli is a prickly sort, but I suppose she can afford to be with talent like that.
I wish you good fortune. We could all use some.
No one hunts like the Banuk, but I've heard the Nora can handle their bows.
The Cut has no patience for arrogant hunters. They tend to end up just like the tall neck at the Frost figures.
I don't fear bandits. To fear them is to give them the power they hunger for.
Bandits have made camp at Stone Yield. This should make things interesting.
The demon and thunderstorm will be our undoing. How do we stop it? We die.
None of the southern tribes rival the Banuk as hunters, but some are skilled in their own way.
These new Karja offer peace to the Banuk. None will forget the Red Raids, but perhaps...
does me good to see you.
I'd never had a chance to get up close and really look at a tall neck until I saw the one at the Frost Figures.
The Oseram, with their ridiculous ideas about women. How many great warriors have they ignored?
The Daemon wants to turn the machines against us. We have to believe that the blue light will prevail.
The hunt proceeds as it must.
Just a week ago, I saw a Karja sightseeing expedition staring slack-jawed at the frozen Tallneck.
Strange images, odd stories. Why can't Sakuli paint normal things, like triangles?
But I've heard the Nora can handle their bows. One challenge at a time. The bandits at Stonehill will be dealt with in due course.
Have you heard the story of the Ravenous tribe? It's been one of my favorites since I was a child.
These things that killed our hunters, how many of them have already poured into the cut?
You look well.
Whatever happens, we can't let the Daemon's work take our resolve from us. That's not who we are.
Some say Sakuli's painting self-portrait, but I don't believe it myself.
Snow beneath my collar, snow beneath my toes. Sometimes I fear I'll never be warm and dry again.
Whatever new machines crawl from that cauldron, we'll be ready.
I've never traveled further south than the Grave Wood. In the old days, the Mad Sun King made doing so impossible.
Spent all day up on that scaffold, spreading paint across the stone.
Peace and harmony.
Tonight, we sing our Wirak songs, enjoy each other's company. Where once Banuk were dragged to Meridian in chains. Now Banuk and Karja live there as humans.
Sakuli can make the way as friendship.
I had a dream that this wonderful thunderstorm spread out and covered the whole world.
Sakuli's painting progresses, I see. Wondering what it will look like in the end.
There have been hunting competitions at the Frost Figures for generations, not far from the frozen Tallneck.
The hunt brought me past Stonehill today. Seems we have some unwanted visitors.
Come on. Trust Sakuli's instincts.
You will rely
I've never known what a painter
during
is to
these
destroy.
dark days.
There's no life
Remember
left in
this,
the Tallneck.
your spear is not your own.
It's sad to see it
It
true.
belongs to me. Forget not the songs of those hunters whose spears are broken. I will taste the spirit.
We'll retake Stonehill from the bandits before long.
Your weapon
One challenge at a time.
you need to
I know
keep
where
the
the
spirit.
I know where the place is.
A blessed weapon still demands a
The
skill.
bandit camp at Stonehill seemed to spring up overnight.
The spirit.
No matter how dark our days may be, the hunt remains a comfort. You have to admire the shamans. The braiding ceremony is not for the weak. We're fortunate that Araya favored Sakuli. I've never seen another painter like her.
I asked Seclundi which story she was painting, and she said all stories. What does that even mean?
They say bandits have made camp in the cut. We do well to stay vigilant. These new Karja offer peace to the Banuk. None will forget the Red Raids, but perhaps...
Nah. This old world underestimates the Banuk. We will not bow to bandits.
On the hunt and in life.
You seem sad, stranger. I heard you mention a flood?
Yes. A sudden deluge, without rain or melt to explain it. I'm Lelai, the drummer of Deep Din. Or at least I was, till it disappeared under the waters.
Deep Din. What's that?
A hollow, carved out by the old ones. A chamber, a basin, and a musical instrument all at once. My life, my calling. I'd explain it by playing for you if I could. But its pipes are deep under the water now.
So Deep Din is a place, and a musical instrument?
Yes. Pipes that carry a perfect tone beneath a sonorous bass. My father played the pipes to rally the Banuk against the Karja. I'm the drummer now. But our battles are few and far between. Mostly I play for the joy of it. Or to remember my family. Of course, if the waters don't recede, what's the point of joy? Or remembering?
So the waters came fast.
One day it was dry. The next, the nearby river had risen and the entire basin was flooded. I don't understand it. There was no rain, not even any clouds, and yet the river rose higher than I'd ever seen it. And there it remains.
A flood without rain. That is strange. Where is this place? I'll have a look if I'm in the area.
Just northwest of here. Look all you like, but I don't see what good it'll do. The floodwaters aren't going anywhere. How does one ask a river to relent? Deep Din.
The bandits cower at Stone Yield because they are too afraid to face the Banuk directly.
It's not just old machines. When the old ones were fresh in their grave and our numbers were still small, it was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banukai and Hawerak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banukai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of icy blue. And she saw something new. Herds of machines, each filled with the same blue light. When she woke, she knew which star to follow. She walked for many days and nights until she arrived at a temple built from sparkling ice. At the gates of the temple, she was met by the machines from her dream, who bowed to her as she entered. Inside, Banukai discovered the blue light bubbling from a hole in the snowy earth like a spring. "You bid me come," she said. "My people need aid. Will you provide it?" The machines whispered to Banukai. "We go where the light goes, for we are its chosen vessels. There is darkness in your heart. It cannot hold the light for long. Carry it to your people if you must, but the cost will be great." Banukai waded into the pool. The light reared like a nest of snakes and struck Banukai, piercing her skin, filling her up. Banukai did not scream, though she was in agony. Banukai did not collapse, though her limbs shook. She climbed from the pool and carried the light inside her. She marched toward home, and the machines marched behind her. As she walked, the light struggled to push its way out of her, but the machines were there to aid her. She sewed her body shut with their cables, patched herself with their metal, and kept the light within. When she arrived, the forces of the ravenous tribe had surrounded the camp. Although the light had left her with 1,000 wounds, Banukai charged. And because she held the light, the machines followed. The ravenous tribe killed many, but those in camp rushed to join the battle. They gathered pieces of the fallen machines and from them fashioned weapons. And it was with these that Banukai's people repaid the suffering the ravenous tribe had wrought upon them. When quiet descended, Banukai finally fell. The machines bowed their heads, and her werak wept. The light she'd held within her drifted from her wounds and rose to the sky. And for just a moment, before life left her, Banukai knew the truth of the blue light. And she felt peace. We remember Banukai, the first to crawl from the cave beneath the world, brought the machines to us. When we speak the name of our tribe, we remember her. And we will not forget. We remember, Banukai, when the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small. It was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banukai and her werak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banukai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of icy blue. And she saw something new. Herds of machines, each filled with the same blue light. When she woke, she knew which star to follow. She walked for many days and nights until she arrived at a temple built from sparkling ice. At the gates of the temple, she was met by the machines from her dream, who bowed to her as she entered. Inside, Banukai discovered the blue light bubbling from a hole in the snowy earth like a spring. "You bid me come," she said. "My people need aid. Will you provide it?" The machines whispered to Banukai. "We go where the light goes, for we are its chosen vessels. There is darkness in your heart. It cannot hold the light for long. Carry it to your people if you must, but the cost will be great." Banukai waded into the pool. The light reared like a nest of snakes and struck Banu-Kai, piercing her skin, filling her up. Banu-Kai did not scream, though she was in agony. Banu-Kai did not collapse, though her limbs shook. She climbed from the pool and carried the light inside her. She marched toward home, and the machines marched behind her. As she walked, the light struggled to push its way out of her, but the machines were there to aid her. She sewed her body shut with their cables, patched herself with their metal, and kept the light within. When she arrived, the forces of the ravenous tribe had surrounded the camp. Although the light had left her with 1,000 wounds, Banu-Kai charged. And because she held the light, the machines followed. The ravenous tribe killed many, but those in camp rushed to join the battle. They gathered pieces of the fallen machines and from them fashioned weapons. And it was with these that Banu-Kai's people repaid the suffering the ravenous tribe had wrought upon them. When quiet descended, Banu-Kai finally fell. The machines bowed their heads, and her Werak wept. The light she'd held within her drifted from her wounds and rose to the sky. And for just a moment, before life left her, Banu-Kai knew the truth of the blue light. And she felt peace. We remember Banu-Kai, the first to crawl from the cave beneath the world, brought the machines to us. When we speak the name of our tribe, we remember her. And we will not forget. We remember Banu-Kai, when the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small. It was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banu-Kai and her Werak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banu-Kai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of icy blue. And she saw something new. Herds of machines, each filled with the same blue light. When she woke, she knew which star to follow. She walked days and nights until she arrived at a temple built from sparkling ice. At the gates of the temple, she was met by the machines from her dream, who bowed to her as she entered. Inside, Banu-Kai discovered the blue light bubbling from a hole in the snowy earth like a spring. "You bid me come," she said. "My people need aid. Will you provide it?" The machines whispered to Banu-Kai. "We go where the light goes, for we are its chosen vessels. There is darkness in your heart. It cannot hold the light for long. Carry it to your people if you must, but the cost will be great." Banu-Kai waded into the pool. The light reared like a nest of snakes and struck Banu-Kai, piercing her skin, filling her up. Banu-Kai did not scream, though she was in agony. Banu-Kai did not collapse, though her limbs shook. She climbed from the pool and carried the light inside her. She marched toward home, and the machines marched behind her. As she walked, the light struggled to push its way out of her, but the machines were there to aid her. She sewed her body shut with their cables, patched herself with their metal, and kept the light within. When she arrived, the forces of the ravenous tribe had surrounded the camp. Although the light had left her with 1,000 wounds, Banu-Kai charged. And because she held the light, the machines followed. The ravenous tribe killed many, but those in camp rushed to join the battle. They gathered pieces.
So,
Okay, if I want to learn more about how this Damon affects the machines, I've got to find Rhea. And for that, I need to talk to her apprentice, who followed the river north.
Outlander, wait a moment.